Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We're back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. We had some technical difficulties with our guests, so I spent the last 20 minutes trying to help them get on unsuccessfully. Sadly, Greg, I have failed in my mission to have our guest on today. So AJ Haase can't join us today. We've got some technical issues. We'll have to get him back on the books. That's the perils of running a live podcast, right, Greg? My
yes.
co-host, my co-pilot, my partner in crime, the Junior Grandmasters.
What is up, Pimps a Lot? Great Facebook Live today. We're going to talk about that subject matter, but I'm going to just put it out there. Sunday Fun Day was way too much fun day, and I am still slogging my way through my brain at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's just, and the funny thing is, dude. Okay, so here's a little funny thing. I was talking to this agent. I'm setting up a showing for 5 o'clock tonight, right? And the homeowner tells me, "Oh no, I think we're all done," and I'm like, well, it says in the MLS that you guys are taking offers this Friday, the 22nd. She's like, oh, I know. But my agent said that we don't have to do any more showings. And I'm like, what is going on here? So I called the agent back and I said, hey, this is what's going on. And the agent calls me back a few minutes ago and she goes, no, don't worry about it. You can totally go show the house. My clients just didn't understand the fact that they still had to show the property after they did the 2 open houses. And I'm like, you fucking retards. How are you going to sell your house without anybody ever trying to come through it? The lady almost didn't let me come through. She made me feel like, am I this hungover, or is she not making any sense? So I'm not sure which one it is.
Okay, interesting.
I'm really not. Ooh, very good news, guys. I got Matt, and you'll like this. I got the official letter from CAR. That I'm officially going to be speaking with their event. Matt and I are going to be doing a panel together, and then I'm going to be talking about Periscope, and my buddy Rod Watson is going to be talking about Instagram. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Hope if anyone can go to CAR the 27th, 28th, and 29th of September, come down and see us. Matt and I are going to have a booth there.
Yeah, so, that's right.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. Well, while we wait for people to join us live, just wanted to, if you're watching the replay here on YouTube, thank you so much, and make sure to hit subscribe on YouTube. That way you get all of our future videos and all that good stuff. And then to get the audio version nestled right here between your ears, where we so belong, head on over to iTunes or Stitcher and subscribe there. And
I still get told all the time, like, Greg, am I nestled so deep in your ears? I'm like, yes, you are. Now I know why that sounds so creepy.
Oh man, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's jump into it. This is what the topic of my Facebook Live was today. So there's an article that came out in Inman News today about a rule change that was just passed along with as part of a larger bill that came through the South Carolina House, which just mentioning the House of the House of Representatives, I think we just lost half the viewership of the show. Just that phrase.
They're like, screw this shit.
But anyway, here's the moral of the story. Basically, they said, hey, real estate teams in South Carolina, screw you. We're not going to let you use the word real estate or realty in your team name.
What? So what are you supposed to do? Are you going to say, hi, I'm Bob Jones and I sell homes?
Yes.
What if you can say that? Hi, I'm Bob Jones. I sell homes.
I don't know. That's a far cry. I would say I'm Bob Jones, and I attempt to represent as a fiduciary agent the successful selling of homes in South Carolina to residents and non-residents alike of this great and fair state located in the mid to mid-south. I think that's the technical. Yeah.
So that's the abbreviated version. I take it.
That's right. Yes. So, there's an acronym for that, but it's unpronounceable.
So seriously, so what is the deal with this? You read the article. I haven't had the chance to read it yet. Why did they do this? Did they give a reason for it?
Yes. So here's the deal. As with everything in politics, the stated reason for the public and the actual behind-the-scenes reason are two different things, wildly different. Yes. So this was a rule change that was slipped in at the very last second. And what's interesting is that Dan Hamilton, who actually I talked to, and I actually handled his account at Viral. Super nice guy. Is in the House of Representatives for South Carolina. What's up? Somebody saying something? All right. Anyway.
So Christina just sent me this. Guess what? Look what she's doing. She's eating dinner and watching us. What's up, Christina? Healthy dinner too. I'll be over later. I'm hungry. I just got to travel across country.
All right. So anyway, so Dan Hamilton is in the South Carolina House of Representatives. He's a House representative there in the state legislature, right? He's also the leader of Hamilton and Company real estate team of Keller. Okay.
He is.
So of course this passed without his, not knowledge, but he certainly didn't like it, and tried to get this removed. It was slipped in at the last minute as part of this larger bill. And what his perspective on it, what they said, is that this is to protect the general public from miscommunication or misunderstanding of who they are actually being represented by and who they go to when they have a complaint or something has been mishandled by the agent. What that actually means is that out of the 8 real estate commissioners, only 1 has any involvement with real estate teams or works for a brokerage that deals or allows or encourages real estate teams. All the rest of them, 7 out of the 8, work at brokerages that have no experience and do not encourage real estate teams. So that's what it really comes down to. And that was even the guy that wrote the article for Inman News agreed. This is about slowing the rise of real estate teams. And for anybody that knows, that's kind of my thing.
Really?
That is the whole world that I run in. I'm not necessarily into the solo agent space. I mean, we've done some coaching and stuff like that, and we do the show. But where I'm coming from, it is very much from the team perspective. I mean, I'm working with Jeff Cohn to build out elite real estate systems nationwide. We have offices in San Diego, Salt Lake, and Boston right now, and on top of the Omaha office, and all of them go under some variation of elite real estate group. Even Jeff's flagship team.
How can they honestly dictate that? I mean, what are they
be able? Here's the deal.
It's complete bullshit. And
that's the point that I made on the Facebook Live. So, like, if you look at like franchise companies, right? McDonald's, for example. If a McDonald's franchisee wants to offer a chicken and lard sandwich, McDonald's has the right to say no. You sell Big Macs. That's why you bought a McDonald's franchise. If you want to have a diner, go open a diner. So it's McDonald's that set those rules, but the state doesn't get involved and start trying to set rules, and that's what's going on here, right? So, to me, like Century 21 or Keller Williams or any other brokerage has as much right as they want to tell their people that work under them, hey, you can't just use real estate in your team. It's getting confusing. People are getting confused. They have complaints for you, and we can't get the complaints handled correctly. So if you're going to be a Keller Williams agent, you have to obey these rules to be part of Keller Williams. No problem with that. The problem is with the state dictating that and deciding that something like that. They're going to discourage real estate teams at the state level. They don't like real estate teams.
This is bullshit.
That is bullshit.
Yeah, it's complete bullshit. Anyways, fuck them. Let's move on. That's basically the gist of it. Right?
Yeah, well, I think what this is gonna lead to is in those states, it's only going to push more real estate teams to potentially becoming their own brokerages. And why wouldn't you? I mean, it's not something that Jeff wants to do. He's looked at the numbers and he said, look, it's not worth it for me. But look, if you've got 30 agents underneath you, or if you're Josh Smith and you have 60 agents underneath you, why wouldn't you? I mean, if now both of them work for brokerages where they're very, very tight with their broker, and they're not going anywhere. So just to clarify, but let's say you were in their position where you have a lot of agents, or you're trying to get there, right? Why wouldn't you go out and become your own broker instead of working for a broker in a state that basically says, hey, you can't brand yourself something that the consumer actually understands as being real estate?
So don't make it so obvious that what you do, so that they know where to find you. But we're going to try to hide your light underneath the cup, so you don't know what you're looking for.
Yes, I mean, imagine if you could not tell anybody what the McDaniel real estate team did. It was just the McDaniel team. Ooh, McDaniel Callahan. Come to us for all of your needs. We can't tell you what they are, but if you have needs,
anything that ails you, we'll help you.
We have it. That's right.
We can drain your bank account.
By real estate representation or microcraft breweries, we are your ticket.
Hey, now we're talking drinking and real estate. They go hand in hand no matter what.
They do go hand in hand. Boy, that's the truth. All right. So what was so elaborate a little bit on this weekend, and I'm going to find us some really good questions to answer, and we're going to riff. We're going to riff today.
So this weekend, guys, I've been talking to a lot of you guys, and you guys write back on this. If anyone's, well, all of you guys that are watching right now, give me your response on this and what your thoughts are. Because I'm going to start doing this a lot more, and Matt doesn't know this yet. But I'm going to start getting Matt's like, oh shit. I'm going to start doing like a snippet, like day in the life of a realtor. Like, talk about the deals I'm working on. The wins.
Is that what Snapchat's for?
Yeah,
like an insight into the day in the life.
Yeah, but not everybody has Snapchat yet, or is following me on Snapchat. Okay. And so one of the things that I'm going to be talking about, Matt and I are going to talk about high tech, high touch. I'm going to talk about how guys, if you're not following me on Snapchat, go do it right now. Your life will be better for it.
How dare they not follow you?
I know the
Right.
the
So it's
indecency.
so it's REU 444.
Yep. Find me. So I did this on Sunday. I went out and I showed 2 clients, and I was walking around with them, and I felt really stupid doing it, guys. But I'm like, all right, guys, just play along with me. I'm trying something new. They're like, sure, what? I'm like, I'm going to try to snap every single one of the homes that we're looking at. And then I failed epically because I didn't get them all done. But then I tried to show like the good and the bad of the different properties, you know, why you'd want to buy this one, not this one. Like, dude, one of the properties we drove to, it's like we drove into death's door, like waiting room. There's like this old decrepit, like old retirement home where the people in there were probably half dead anyways. They look like walking corpses. But then to go all the way back to this end of this dark, dingy street, you had to go to this crap house that had no yard and was looked in by another property. And that's why I always like to preview, and I wasn't able to preview that one because our schedules changed. Always fucking preview. That's your job. Because it wasted my time. I saw them get upset. And so it was overall, that one was a little bit disheartening, but at the end of the day.
Are you saying, Greg, the preview in the sense of show up to all the houses you're going to pitch to a potential buyer client and show up and physically go through them first in person?
Yeah. Yeah, the ones that they want to go see, absolutely go preview them, 100%. Because like I walked into one of them,
God,
super cute house.
Exhausting.
So I just broke a sweat just thinking about them.
Oh my God, yes. I wonder I only worked with sellers. I only had to show up to their place once.
Sign the listing agreement, dickhead. All right, now I'm never going to come back and never be seen again by you. And they wonder why agents have bad reputations.
Hey.
What?
It's leveraged work, and I had structured, regular weekly communication with my sellers. So don't go, yeah, this is not I show up once and they never hear from me again. Thank you very much.
I wasn't talking about you, but my God, you took that one personally.
Yeah, exactly.
Struck a chord there. Cool thing, though, is I found out that one of the neighbors, one of the homes that we went and showed, was where Tom Hanks actually grew up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was, cool. I was sitting like, no shit, like the actor Tom Hanks? They're like, yeah, this is one of his first childhood homes. I'm like, it's a cool factor just spiked.
That's right.
I just felt good about myself being there. I'm like, Tom Hanks lived here. Yes.
Yeah, well, that would explain all these box of chocolates laying around.
Yeah, you're good, you. You're good.
Yeah. All right, should we take a question? I feel like taking a question.
Sure.
All right. So this is from the Lead Gen Scripts and Objections group. Nick Walker says, "Hey guys, I have a problem with staying organized." Wow, surprise, surprise. Do you have any suggestions with organizing and filing? Currently, I take my own calls for showing appointments for listings. I've been an agent for about 8 months, and I just want to get an organization system. So now I know, Greg, that you have the steel trap, but I want to know which I get that, and that's fine. And we can talk about how a solo agent might be different. But just tell me briefly, like, how do you personally, Greg, keep yourself organized? Because there are things that are off of her radar that you're doing that you have to keep yourself accountable for.
Eileen, Matt says that even though you're the steel trap, that there's things that you don't know. Matt, how could you be so rude?
Well, I didn't say it.
She can see you.
You're the one that turned around and passed that along. Tell her I'm deeply sorry for implying that she doesn't have complete and total control over your life.
I don't care if what you think. So he's just gonna Yeah. No, wave off. Yeah, he says sorry. Okay. So what I do, in all honesty, if I do anything, it always goes in the calendar. My Google Calendar, goes with on my phone, on my tablet, on my PC, everywhere with me. I also color code it, so I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. Obviously different colors have different meanings for me. So like the McDaniel Challenge, I switched those all over to yellow. Any CMA or client meeting is always in red. Prospecting, where's my damn calendar when I'm talking about this? Blue is just kind of it's okay, but I have things that are scheduled in and that just don't get moved. That's how I do that.
So you have your like in time blocking terms, you have your big rocks that are built into your calendar, then you have the other stuff kind of scheduled around that.
Exactly right.
Yeah, I'm the same way. So in terms of color coding, you mentioned the same thing. So I have all of my active actual podcasts or calls are in green. Anything that I'm doing by myself, that's just an appointment with myself, goes into the default, I think it's like a light blue or whatever, grayish.
A meeting with yourself. You're like, I'm so interested.
Yeah. I'm gonna something that I meet with myself. Yeah. Like the prep for the show, for example, is an appointment with myself. And then I have like anything that's red, it like is absolutely, has to be done that day, whatever the case is. Sometimes it's invoicing a client or whatever. And then the blue, so I'll put like a dark blue is anything that's like a physical in-person appointment or something where I'm driving. So it's like, hey, if I have to leave the house,
oh my God, you have to
leave
the house?
I know. I have to have a special color for it.
You can prep yourself, have a meeting with yourself ahead of time to get yourself in the right state of mind before you go out with the human race.
Yeah, sure, why not? Such a dick, Jeff. Hate you sometimes. All right. So anyway, besides that, let's talk about how an individual agent can stay organized. So I did a podcast or hangout or whatever you want to call it with Jenny Williams here last Monday, and she had some good tips. She has something that's called the 6-figure day. She referenced it on our show and actually sent it out to a few people and actually picked up a coaching client just because of that interaction. So she has a checklist of things that you as a solo agent should do every single day to lead to a 6-figure income. If all you did was just keep that on your desk and actually check off and try to check off as many things per day as she has on that list, that would go a long way, even if you didn't follow through and have like an actual filing system and things like that. But getting into the filing system, so if we're talking about like on the transaction processing side, there's all kinds of stuff like dot loop and brevity you can do. There's plenty of tools out there to make that easier. You can even use Evernote and Dropbox and organize things. So the tools are out there. Here's where most agents fall down, and I think where they maybe underestimate what actually needs to be done in order to incorporate something like that into your life, is look, you have to sit down and you have to get away from the business for, what would you say, Greg, 1 to 2 hours at a time, and really put just some focused mental effort into sitting back and watching the training videos. If it's a CRM or something like that, you're going to have to take some time to import your contacts. If it's contactually and you can play that little game where you're dumping into little buckets, you're going to have to sit down for 20 or 30 minutes at a time every day for a week or two or whatever and sort all your contacts into the different little buckets. I mean, that's really what it really just comes down to, just being willing to put in that 1 to 2 hours of work at a time where you just kind of shut everything else off and you don't answer your phone, you don't answer your texts, you're not running around in between appointments and stuff. So it has to be like a Sunday morning or a Sunday night or something where you're like disconnected from the busyness of the business. You just have to be able and willing to set that time aside to really get your system set up. I think that's where most people fall down, because you can buy all the tools that you want, but if you're not willing to put in a couple hours work to actually get it running, it will never do you any good.
No, it really won't. That's the human factor. That's the error. That's where that really does fall down. But I mean, taking that time, like you said, to sit down and do it for one time, and then it's done. You know what? You're going to save yourself hours of labor down the road where you're scrambling around trying to find things, or you don't follow up with them and you miss out on a $20,000 commission or however much it is for you guys. That's an expensive learning lesson. So if you think, well, it's not productive to do it. Well, no, you're 100% wrong. It's incredibly productive to do it, because you're like, well, I should go out, be out with other clients. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. Bullshit, man. You need to sit down, set this stuff up, let it run in a system. Oh, yeah. Matt, I think I'm coming down with a fever. I just said systems.
It sounded like you sneezed or something.
Systems. There it is. I got it out.
Oh my gosh!
When they watch this, they must think we're absolute fucking retards. Or at least me at times.
Okay.
All right. I know we got some really good questions in here. I don't want to see which one of you clown shoes have been doing the painful month. When you're doing all the things that you don't want to do because it's not fun, like following up with leads, or calling old expireds, or doing the door knocking, or doing the pop by, but doing at least 5 to 10 of those outreaches every single day. How many of you clowns are doing it? I know I'm doing it. It's wearing me the fuck out. But it's
all that snapping in between.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot. I'm a snap happy guy.
Snapgramming and Insta snapping and all that stuff. Anyway, so let's mention a couple things and give some people some shout outs, and then we'll dive back into the questions. I've got a good one here on keeping in touch with past client sellers. So, first of all, quick thank you shout out to Viral Marketing. Go check out gregsmarketingexamples.com. He's got a little video there where Greg breaks down exactly what Viral does for him through video and educational marketing to help him pull repeat and referral business from his database, which that actually is a partial answer to like how to communicate with past sellers. So that's actually a good way to do that. And then other words, the other one to check out is Homing In. So there is an app essentially that has been created to let homeowners request actual valuations from real agents in the area instead of going to like a Zillow's estimate. So if you complain about Zillow's estimate, stop complaining and go download Homing In and actually respond to homeowners with your valuation and give yourself a chance to win that listing by giving them an intelligent answer on the listing. So Homing In, go get it on either iTunes Store, the App Store for Apple, or the Google Play Store for Android device, or there's a web version as well. Either way, go check it out. It's called Homing In. And then, Greg, who do you have to shout out?
A shit ton of people, dude. I love you guys. It is so much fun to talk to all y'all. First off, Christina and Stevie from Florida. You guys are awesome. They were sending me snaps at a networking event, which they said it sucked because they already knew everybody. Oh, well. Yeah, at least you went, right, guys? Good work there. Then Hannah, great to talk with you. I know we got you set up. Josh, Brian, George, Tony, Andrew. Oh, I talked to Rod. Rod's gonna be speaking, like I said. Hold on, I got there's on so many different platforms. I have to jump back and forth. Mike, Vince, Cole, and the list keeps going on and on and on. I ran out of yellow pads, Matt, and you know how I don't function without my yellow pads.
Yes. So then, speaking of your organizational system, I believe it's called Hobbit pads.
The blow. But see, I got new ones here. Okay. So I got my yellow sheets here. So I'm back in. We'll get everybody on the next run. But yeah, tonight we have Tom Miller, one of his folks. I'm going to be talking with Stacy, and then I'm going to talk with another one of his guys tomorrow. So a lot of good stuff. McDaniel Callahan. I am moving so fucking slow today.
Yeah. You have not had enough carrot juice today, Greg.
I haven't had any. That's probably my problem, dude. The McDaniel Challenge guys, I'm booked until the last week of October, dude.
Holy cow.
October 24th is my next one, guys. Stop fucking around and start calling me and booking shit up, or you're gonna be the November kid. Remember, no one wants to be the November kid.
That's right. All right.
Guys, call me, send me a Facebook message, follow me there. 925-915-1978 is my personal cell phone. Like I always say, guys, I pay my bill. Maybe a little bit late sometimes, but I paid it. I paid $500 fucking to them for my bill the other day.
Goodness. Yeah. Running over your data plan a little bit there with all your Snapchatting?
Well, yes, Matthew. And it's very effective. People like me. Okay, so that's my shout outs. I'll get more in later. But you guys are all amazing. I love you. Keep them coming. I have a backlog, no joke, of text messages that are like 15 deep right now. Not to mention the multiple Facebook messages that are coming in, and people are just like, dude, I want to set a time. I'm like, fuck, okay.
All right, speaking of Facebook messages, so if you guys want to get a question answered during the show, easiest way is to friend request me. So that would be facebook.com/pursuingresults, and shoot me a message. So I keep I'm the same way. I keep the phone right here next to me, and then I've got Facebook pulled up over here, so I can see your messages when they come in, and we can get them answered on the show. So let's dive back in.
Hold on, Stevie. No, I did not. I did not meet anyone on OkCupid. Jackass. She's picking on me.
Okay, Cupid.
She's like, yeah. You must have been talking to what'd you say? Must have been someone you talked to on OkCupid. LOL. No.
All right. So Jeremy Katz has a question. So keeping in touch with past seller clients that have moved away, what's the best way to keep in touch, and what's the benefit to them for me to call them?
Pick up the phone and you say, hi, this is Greg. Let's see, watch. Hi, Matt? Yes, it's Greg. Yeah, no, I haven't followed up with you in a while, man. I'm really bummed out. I'm so sorry to do that. Why don't I buy you lunch? There's the benefit. They get a free lunch. You get to hang out. You get to bring value. Answer questions.
Greg. They moved away. Away.
Oh,
yeah.
So there's a good tip for anyone who's in town, guys.
Yes.
Now we'll get back to the real answer to the question.
Yes. Past client sellers that have moved away.
Dude, it's really, honestly, it's just building a friendship. You know what? Maybe they might move back or whatever. But I mean, if they lived here in California and they moved to, DC or something like that, I mean, high likelihood that there's, unless you want to send them a card or something like that, or there's really no value. I mean, they're not. You're just going to waste a lot of time. That's
Yeah, like you mean like making a call. Okay, so my perspective on that would be, if I think there's a right way that you can follow up. Number one is, if you're using a system like viral marketing where you're sending out videos by email and then you're watching who watches the videos and you're following up with people that click to watch the video. That tells you, as the person sending out the videos, that hey, that person in my database is interested in real estate. So you might as well follow up, right?
Yeah.
So that's one way. So you retain their email, you keep in touch with them with educational videos about real estate. I would put it, if I were to make a phone call based on that, I would just say, hey, I just thought about you the other day. You don't tell them, hey, I got an open and click report that showed me that you watched one of my videos.
Hi, I'm your number one stalker, and exactly. I see everything you do.
That's right. I'm like Google, bitch. So anyway, you call them up and you just say, hey, I was just thinking about, we worked together a while back. It's been a couple years, but I just wanted to see how you're doing. I understand you moved out of the area, and just wanted to see how you guys were doing. I mean, you can always do that. Just say, hey, I thought about you the other day, and you came to mind. Or I was driving through your neighborhood where we sold you that house a couple years ago, and you came to mind. I just wanted to see how you guys were doing, and hey, how's little Jimmy and Susie and your other floor denters?
little sausage nuggets.
Little sausage nuggets, little caramel nuggets of goodness.
Yeah, Julie, 3 of these babies that are so fat they dent wood. They distress your floors without even asking to be distressed.
Yes. Now the other option for keeping up is like Jeff Cohn used to make those calls, and what he would do is he would set them up on a drip that gave them an idea of the new listings or property values in their area, whatever the case is. So you could call up and you could say something like, hey, look, I know you moved out of the area here just recently, but obviously we'd love to have you back. I don't know if you're interested in moving back, but would you like me to set you up on something that just gives you an update on what the prices are doing about once a month? Just a once a month email on the general area you used to live in, just in case you're thinking about moving back, moving closer to family or something like that, if their family is here in the area. So that's another option. You just have that drip that goes out, and then you can follow up every 6 to 12 months or something like that. So I mean, there's a way to do it, but it's not that. I think it's like you said, Greg. It's to build a friendship. It's to keep the relationship going, and not to look at it as, hey, I need to have a piece of value. Like you calling up as someone that used to do business with them, and calling up out of the blue, even though there's really nothing tangible that you can get out of that call, actually might really make an impact on them.
Yeah, no, 100% it will. I mean, since I'm doing so much, video and all the stuff that we're doing online. Last week I got 2 referrals from doing the videos. So maybe a way that you can stay in touch with them is to do Facebook Lives, or just that kind of a stuff. Something you're already doing, and they're just happening to view it. Because if they're thinking about coming back, they're going to probably hunt you down unless you suck balls. And
that's the thing, is that they won't track you down. But if you keep in touch with them the right way with email and social media and stuff that just kind of passively, kind of keeps your name easily accessible and kind of in front of them, they're like, oh yeah, that's my realtor from back home. Right. Or whatever the case is. I mean, I know I've done this with other people kind of in the real estate industry just to maintain my network of contacts. I mean, if I think of somebody, I have no reason to reach out to them, and I have nothing to gain by reaching out to them. I'll still just send them a quick Facebook message and say, hey man, I was, you came to mind here just this morning. I just figured I'd reach out and see how everything's, how's everything in your world. I mean, people are blown away by it. Like, oh man, it looks like you're doing great, and you're doing this and that, and I'm doing this and that, and let's catch up sometime. Cool, okay. And then
you never ever meet. We should do lunch. Yeah, let's do lunch. Fuck that shit. I just had to leave.
No, I just put it in blue on my calendar, and then that tells me that I need to be a normal human being for that hour-and-a-half span of time.
The pain and you must have to come back and bandage your wounds from being out in public.
It's not that I have to bandage my wounds. It just takes a lot of effort to be on, and I have to come back and get my Starbucks, and sit by myself, and read a book, and just veg.
And put bars against the door so nobody might walk in. You're like, oh no, another human.
I don't hate other people. It just sucks my energy. It just sucks my energy to be. It takes more energy for me to be around people than it does for you.
I know.
Not everyone is blessed with the social butterfly gene that you have.
I know, and I just flutter around. All right, enough of that shit. What are they going to say to you? Oh, just so that we can get back to the whole click-through report. I just got my click-through report from Liz over at Viral, and we did a different type of video, guys. It was extremely well. We had about a 15% open rate on the last one and a lot of really good engagement. So what I did, and here's an idea for you guys. I have a $50 gift card for either a massage or for a chiropractor adjustment, and I have a huge box of them. Didn't cost me a single dime because they just gave them to me. I said, if you guys can guess exactly where I am in this video, I will give you guys a free $50 gift card. Dude, they launched it at 8 o'clock in the morning. By 8:05, my phone was blowing up with people trying to guess where I was.
Really?
And, yeah, really. It was
That's
so
awesome.
much fun. It actually engaged one of my past clients, Willen and Mary Wong. When I sold there, like one of my first clients, like about 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, I was a douchebag, and my father wouldn't let me near another human being. They remember when their son and literally had just been born the day before, like he was like 1 day old, and I got to meet him as a 13-year-old the other day, and I hadn't seen them in 13 years, and they were like, "Oh my God, Willen is actually talking about moving again, Greg." I'm like, "No shit." Interesting.
Okay.
But I mean, the gift card, I mean, it was so great to see him 13 years later. 13 years later. And I tried to go pop by and see him, and we can never connect. But that's the power of this, guys. Think of something you can go give away that you don't have to pay for, that still brings value to the people, and start doing it on the Facebook Live, start having contests with people. That would engage people, either if they're in town or if they've moved out of town, to reach back out to you. I had another one of my friends who, like, I think he guessed 12 to 15 times. And I'm like, oh, fuck it, dude. I'll just give you the fucking card. Here.
Okay.
But a couple of guys, I mean, one guy, he's like, well, I run the trail a lot, and I think it's between the 10 and 10.2 mile markers. I'm like, I walked out to the back here. I'm like, motherfucker, he's right. That guy just doesn't do it a little bit. That dude like stalks the trail. It's awesome though. So there's an idea for you guys. Go do it. It will really help you stay in context. I know, Matt, you've been looking for some additional questions for us. Or what have you?
I do. So Akila Lynn says, got a question. If you reached a homeowner and they told you they're thinking about selling, but they don't know when, would you try to set an appointment for the consultation with a pre-listing package, or would you just add them to a nurture and follow-up campaign and then follow up until they're ready to move forward?
Get your ass out there as soon as humanly possible. Are you kidding me? Get in front of that people, get in front of that person, because if you're not talking to your client, I guarantee you somebody else is. Start making the relationship, start bringing value to them, start helping them, get them on an email drip campaign so they can start seeing it and seeing your brand, because then you're going to, like CoreFact, we have it set up through CoreFact. So we know that every time that they go in and what they're looking at, they have a star system in the back so that we can, like, and that's one of the things I'm doing for this painful month. I'm going back into CoreFact. I'm emailing all these people and calling them and just trying to bring value, see if they want a more detailed report. Dude, the responses are awesome. You know what? That is definitely something you should be doing, guys. You know, don't be like Matt. Get out of your house, okay? Get out of your house on a regular basis.
I have structured my life so that I am not forced to leave my house. I leave my house by choice. So for anyone that said, just to clarify, for anyone that does set an in-person appointment with me, it's because I want to meet with you. And do not let Greg weird you out into thinking that I do not want to meet with you or see you or ever leave my house. I go to Starbucks every afternoon I'm not on the podcast because I actually enjoy being around other people. So you stop that, Greg. God, horrible. You're gonna make me sound like a reclusive hermit that's building a bomb in the basement of my cabin in Colorado.
But you still live with your mom, and she lives upstairs, and you have 6 cats. You know, you're that kind of person.
Right.
No,
yeah, exactly.
We would never do that to you.
Okay, so here we go.
Oh,
so Laura, this is, I'll have to fill in some detail on this question because somebody asked for some clarification, so I'm going to kind of meld it all into the question. So Lori Mock says, help, I need a great shift, or I need a great script for the shift, as in the coming economic downturn, that doesn't sound like you're doing a pressure sales job with listings. So in other words, hey, you know, we're about to experience a potential downturn or a shift or an adjustment in the market. Now really is the best time to list your home if you want to get maximum home value. How do you convey that without just sounding like you're pressuring them to list now because you're a typical salesperson?
You cite articles from, reputable organizations. So maybe some different economists, maybe some different magazines or online blogs or whatever, talk about, to look at what the NAR, National Association is talking about, look at what your local association is talking about with this stuff, and then just be blunt and candid with them. Don't try to pitch them. Don't try to sell them. Just, hey, look, this is what I've found. I thought you might like to know what's going on. If you truly are thinking of selling, based upon this information that I have in front of me, it would make more sense to sell now than later if you're trying to maximize your dollar return on the exit. And then let them, just give them the information and tell them, you know what, whatever time works for you, I just want to make sure that I can help you guys, pull as much equity out of the property as humanly possible so we can be set for your next move. That sounds a lot better than, hey, sell your house. I need a commission.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like if Greg, you could give a script, but if you said the script and then someone with commission breath says the script, the exact same words will come across two very different ways. So you could literally say, hey, you should, honestly, you should list right now. And I don't mean like 2 weeks from now. I mean right this second, because we're going to have a shift. Now, we don't need, but because your tone and your confidence and the way that you carry yourself, and I know you, like I know that it would come across like I don't need your business. I literally do think this is the best thing for you right now. Mm-hmm. Like if you really want to max out the value of your home, like you need to get on the market ASAP. And I don't say that because I need your commission. I'm saying that because literally we don't know when the next downturn is going to be. All we know is it's coming and it can happen at any second. If you were to say that same thing, somebody else with commission breath would make it sound like they were just desperate for the sale. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where you have to decide within yourself that you're not going to take every client. And you're definitely not going to take every client if it's not in their best interest. Like even if you do need the money, I do think you can make that decision within yourself that, look, I'm not going to work with just anybody. I'm going to work with the people that are a good fit for me, and I'm also only going to help them do something if it really is in alignment with what they tell me their goals are. So
right,
if the goals are, so you can still make that decision that you're going to do what's best for the client, and you're only going to work with the clients that are a good fit for you. And I think that will help, even if you're in that growth phase where you do need the commission and every deal is important. I think making those two decisions will at least help you not come off with commission breath. Yeah, douchey. That.
Yeah, it really is, guys. I know that when you're younger in the business or you're getting back into it, you'll take anything that comes at you. And then as you get a little bit more, quote unquote, mature in the business, you're like, well, I don't want to work with this person or this person because they're a bunch of assholes. All they're going to do is ask a bunch of questions, and then you take a lot of my time, and then ultimately not do anything with me. It's when you meet with people, legitimately tell them, hey guys, Matt, Julie, your 3 obese babies, little floor dented, sausage finger fatties, they need to get dialysis done, Matt, so you need to rush them to the hospital. But damn, I got so much fun making fun of your non-just.
I know you lost your train of thought.
Totally lost
because I'm going to move on to another question.
Damn it.
All right, so Kayla Michelle says, I need a great voicemail script for just listed, just sold geofarming. What say you, Greg?
Just listed, just sold geofarming, right?
Voicemails specifically, yes. Voicemail script.
Okay, so it goes you're gonna swap it out, for if it's a sold or a buyer. A sold or just listed. So this is it. Oh, hi, my name is Greg McDaniel. I'm a real estate agent here in the area with J. Rockcliffe Realtors. Reason I'm calling around today, one, I'm just doing a couple of quick cold calls, and this is a voicemail, right? And I'm sorry I missed you. Wanted to let you know that your neighbor at 2346 Maple, as you probably know, they just sold. They sold it in 5 days and had multiple offers on it. Wanted to see if you folks had any questions about the home, about the market, or maybe if you folks might be thinking of about making a move yourself and taking advantage of these prices. If you have any questions, please get back with me. My best number is 925-915-1978. Thanks so much. Have a good one. So it's tonality, speed, bringing value to the people, adding the the all the shit we talk about all the time. So it doesn't sound like you've been robocalling, right? So that's what I would do, and then obviously just flip it for the just sold, for the just listed. So but you want to create some sort of desire or some sort of time frame, right? So the sold is, hey, there's only one person going to buy the house, multiple offers. That means there's active people are willing to pay a very healthy price for a home in your neighborhood. If you're thinking about selling, let me know. Or, you know, you can do the, hey, just listed one. Hey, guys, property coming on the market or right around the corner from you. Just want to let you guys know if you had any questions about it, I'd be happy to email over the specific information. Something like that.
And there's another thread here. It wasn't a specific question. It was more of a comment that led to a bunch of other comments. But basically saying, you know, there's a lot of questions saying, should you leave a message? And this guy was making the point that unequivocally, absolutely, yes, always leave a message. Greg, do you always leave a message?
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? Always, absolutely, without a doubt. It's like I always.
Yeah, I would tend to agree.
I always do a voicemail. Otherwise, you're a ghost. You literally did not exist in that time for them to get back to you.
Yeah, well, I think where you get into the not leaving a voicemail is when we're talking about lead follow-up with an internet buyer lead who has left their information on the registration of your some type of online buyer lead generation site. And then you're trying to get a hold of them, and you still haven't actually spoken to them, right? So a lot of guys will teach you. I mean, well, we just had it the other day. So Kirby Scott from Minneapolis, who was on the show Friday, their follow-up program was what, 10 phone calls, or 15? Was it 15 phone calls in 10 days? And anyway, it was whatever it was 5 voicemails, 10 calls, but only 5 voicemails. So you only have left a voicemail every other time you called.
Yeah, it's 10 calls
specifically because you weren't getting a hold of them.
Right, 10 calls, 5 voicemails, 8 text messages, and 10 emails.
Yeah. Yeah, so that, like, when you hear about not leaving a voicemail, I think that's what most people are either thinking of, or that's directly what they're talking about, and then people are getting that confused with outbound prospecting, like to just listed, just sold, going, should I leave a voicemail and shouldn't you, blah, blah, blah.
Stop being a little bitch and just leave a voicemail.
For the most part. Well, think about, I mean, for people that are my age and younger, we don't want to get voicemails anyway. We won't even check them. But if we don't check them, then who cares? But the older generation will actually check them, and why wouldn't you want your voice? It's another touch point. So
hey, I'm kind of allergic to voicemails. I think I have like 35 of them on this phone over here. Yes. And I don't know why. I just hate voicemails. It's like checking the mailbox for mail. I hate doing that. Like I will put it off for weeks if I can. And then the mailman calls me up and goes, hey, dickhead, empty your mailbox.
Okay. So we got a question here. I'm the same way. I had to clean out my voicemail inbox last night. I had 10 of them, and I had to clean those out. So yeah, if you call me and leave me a message and I don't return your call, it might just be because I didn't know that you called, because I don't check my voicemail. So anyway, there was a question that came in, and I'm gonna butcher the name, and I really don't want to. But the question is, what's a good script for a raw land deal? And what they're looking for is a solid hook to keep in someone's mind. So giving them a reason to consider this, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to get someone to consider moving some 401k money to raw land to have tangible assets. So I don't know if you've ever dealt with that situation, Greg, but let's say someone has 401k money. You want to persuade them to put it into a raw land deal. What kind of scripting would you even use to get them to consider something like that?
I don't even know why you do that. And first off, what the fuck are you doing buying raw land for? You know, honestly, what are you going to do? Let cows graze on it? I mean, what are you going to do with it? I mean, I personally, I don't think I would advise anyone ever to buy raw land. What I would do is I would do a script to talk about, you know, hey, look, here's your 401k money. Let's roll this over into a profitable, you know, property. So let's go buy a duplex, triplex, you know, fourplex, something like that. But I wouldn't do raw land. So I am not your guy for that. For one time in your life, Matt, I can't answer a question. I feel horrible now. I feel like a horrible person.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. We've never really dealt or talked about raw land on the show, promoting it, selling it, or anything like that. Yeah, it's totally out of my comfort zone. I've never dealt with anything like that too.
Then let's just forget that we asked this question and move on to something we can be successful with.
Yeah, all right.
We never even saw this question come through, ever. So if you guys are working with investors or 401k money, I mean, that's a really good source. Go talk to maybe HR department, see if you can become an agent. Go find or the agent for that firm or company, and then go talk to an attorney and figure out what you can or cannot do with that 401k money to help people, you know, to purchase assets, because I believe they can borrow against their 401k or something like that. But I've heard that theory several times though.
Yeah. There's, I mean, you're getting into being financial advisor, and that's beyond the scope of anyone that's anyone that's in real estate should not be attempting to give someone financial advisor level advice.
Unless you actually were one.
In fact, about 70% of financial advisors probably shouldn't be trying to give people financial advisor advice.
God, I know, right, dude?
All right.
Seriously.
Let's see. So when there's a bunch of questions on drip campaigns for following up on online leads and stuff like that. Questions on FSBOs about commission. We've covered stuff like that before. What's your script or Kyle Metcalf, what's your script or process for converting cold leads that call on one property and actually turning them into buyer clients that will work with you? And it sounds like he's looking for, look, I have yard signs or I have online buyer lead generation. They're calling about a house.
Mm-hmm.
And that how you figure out that house isn't right for them. So what's the pivot? What's the segue to get them to just consider working with you instead of just moving on to the next house and contacting some other agent?
Just ask them, so, hey, Matt, thanks for calling in about 123 Main Street. Tell me a little bit about what your needs are. You explain them to me. I'm like, well, I don't think that's going to be the best fit for you. I'd be happy to show it to you so you can understand what my thought pattern is. But we have a couple of properties that are coming on the market that might be interesting for you. Would you like me to contact you or your agent? Oh, I don't have one. Oh, okay, then fantastic. What's your best contact information so I can keep you up to date about what our new properties that are not on the market anymore, or not on the market yet?
Yeah, that's a good one. The off-market properties is a really good carrot on the end of the stick.
Yeah, my dad used to do all the time at open houses, and I would look at him like, what are you talking about? We don't have another listing like coming up. He's like, Greg, there was always another property coming up on the market. I'm like, you're smart. I mean, they don't give degrees away for nothing, I see. My goodness gracious. But or you can use the secret MLS script. Of course, you guys know that's make me moves on Zillow. That's your secret MLS. And you say, Matt, Julie, your 3 obese babies, little sausage fingers and floor denters. I have access to a secret MLS if that would be helpful for you. Kind of some properties that are not on the market. Every single time I say the word secret MLS, people are like, what? Secret MLS? Of course, yes. I have the smartest agent around. I'm like, yes, you do. But just patting myself on the back. But yeah, no, that's what I would use. But I got to point this out, dude. You guys see this? See this? See this? Yeah. No more furry caterpillars. I got a haircut this weekend. Feels so good.
Yeah, actually, so did I.
I thought so.
Yeah.
And Matt and I didn't even text each other.
No.
Hey, buddy, are you getting a haircut too? Oh, me too.
So am I.
Oh, I'm so excited.
In fairness, I got mine at 8:30 on a Saturday morning. I can pretty much guarantee Greg was not getting a haircut at 8:30 on a Saturday morning, so I didn't have to ask.
No, Matt, I was out showing clients at 9. I was in front of a house, driving to a house, working. Ha, slacker, I said.
All right.
Let's go for what do you want to do here? I'll handle another script, guys. So, like me, I mean, I work for my clients when I know that we have got to do something. Like, I generally don't like to work on the weekends because it's my time to relax and just do my thing. Because I actually have to do things like clean the house and shit. And so, what I usually tell clients is this is a calendar control conversation that you're going to have. So mental sanity. I can't talk. So what I do is I'll say, Matt, Julie, your 3 obese babies. I want to let you know how I work. Now, the way that I work is that I will work my tail feathers off for you guys during the week. But and as I start nodding, I'm like, as you can understand, I don't work on the weekends. It's my family time. You agree, right? And I'm nodding my head and smiling at them like, if you disagree with me, you're a spawn of Satan.
Right.
No, you have to work whenever we want. Fuck you. No.
Oh my gosh.
So what I do realistically is I just tell them, I condition them, because people only know what you tell them. You mean, obviously you guys know that as well. Because then when I originally got in the business, my script goes, oh my God, Matt, Julie, your 3 babies, I'm so excited to work for you. You know what? If I don't answer you guys, then either my phone is dead or I'm asleep, and I'll call you back as soon as I'm awake, or my phone turns back on. I work 24/7. Guess what, people? They will literally take that to heart. And then you get run around like ragged. You got a dog at the end of a chain, just jerked one way, jerked the other. And I'll tell you, I got so fucking tired of that. I just got fed up, and I said, look, this is how I'm going to operate. This is how I operate my business. Let me explain it to you. Because if you were going to go to Target and you wanted to go at 2 a.m., well, Target's pretty much like, that's nice. Having a good night. We'll see you at 8:30 or whenever they open up, right? So be Target of your real estate industry.
Okay.
And just dictate your hours of office. I mean, you don't always have to not work on the weekends or whatever else.
Yeah.
It's your business, guys. Work when you want to work. You should be, well, that really means you're going to be working all the time, but you do need structured time off. You absolutely have to do it. My dad, he worked so hard, he literally bled from the eyes from the stress and the long hours. A couple of years ago, he's up in Calgary. No, he's up Alberta, Canada, somewhere traveling. And we had just had a super stressful couple of months. And his retina detached from his rest of his eye. Yay. And there's only 2 specialists in all of Canada, and they were able to get in to see one. Thank God. But, I mean, that shit will fuck you up, all right? Don't let it stress you out. Control your life. Control your life, and don't let someone else control it for you.
Yeah.
Interesting. Don't bleed from the eyes. It's not a good look.
Yeah. All right. All right, let's finish up with this one last question. So Mike Feldman says, I work for a small brokerage. I have 5 full-time agents, but I personally do a lot of volume and revenue. So I was booking a listing appointment on the phone, and the client said, I want a large brokerage because they have access to great marketing, and their brand recognition is better than small brokerages. He says, I diverted the subject. I still got the listing appointment, but how do you agents who work for small brokerages overcome that objection?
Sell yourself. I mean, it's all about, it's you, the agent, right? Do they really care if Coldwell Banker or Remax or anyone else actually has their sign up there? They don't give a fuck whose sign is it.
And neither do buyers. That's what counts.
They don't care at all. The only thing they care about is how you're going to put your hustle on. How much are you going to bust your hump to go out there and make it happen for them? Again, you can't close these types of people. You have to open them with value. I understand, Matt, Julie, your 3 obese babies, that you guys want to have Remax in your front yard. Well, let me explain to you how we're a little bit different. Laundry list of value, and start off the bat right then and there. I mean, you can start doing that. You use the Animoto trick that I've told you guys. You go and take photos with their permission as you walk through the home for your evaluation. And then when you get into the car, you get their email, right? You get in the car, and they have all these different templates and all this different music, and you set it up in whatever format that you want. And then you send them a quick little, test of going, hey, look, this is the type of marketing that we're going to be doing. I know these are not the professional photos, but these are just an idea of how we're going to get the word out that your home is going to be coming on the market. So it's value add and hustle. That's how you overcome the bigger brokerages issue.
Yeah,
bigger is not always
better. I
better.
agree. That would have. It's funny because that actually would have probably caught me off guard if I encountered that live on the phone, because it would have been so, I don't know, combination of old school / dead wrong that it's such a dumb objection, that from somebody who clearly either doesn't know anything about real estate, the inside, or was on the inside and worked for some big brokerage that's what they prided themselves on, was we have great marketing and we have big brand recognition. I mean, anybody that's in real estate, I think, knows that that's so retarded as to be laughable. The idea that, the average the brokerage that you're with, whether it's Coldwell Banker or Century 21 or Long and Foster or whatever the case is, that they have access and give their agents access to some super secret awesome marketing tool. They don't have anything that you can't get on the street as an agent. And if they do, it's not, it's probably not that great, and it's really not anything that impacts the transaction. So there is no secret. I mean, the secret of real estate is hustle for the most part. I mean, when it comes down to listings. So, I love this one phrase. There's an agent in San Diego here that I worked with a little bit last year, and when he goes into a listing appointment, he has this full 12-page color brochure. It's kind of what you have, Greg, but he actually has one custom printed for all of his listings that promotes the listing itself. So he brings a sample one of his other listings, says, look, this is what we're going to do for you. Super powerful, slams that down, and then takes them through that, this is one of their marketing pieces they're going to produce for your listing. Says, this is an example of what separates me from every other agent. See, I'm going to do what every other agent, anybody else that you could possibly have in here for, to speak about listing and selling your home. They're going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to do everything that they do plus these 4 things. Let's look at these 4 things and why I choose to do everything else that everybody else does plus these 4 things. I love the phrasing of that. I think it immediately kind of says, yeah, I know, you'll hear all these other things. I do all that stuff. Let's focus on the stuff that I do that nobody else does, and why they're super, super valuable, and why I put my time and attention into doing those additional few things that really are high impact things that you maybe aren't going to hear from any other agent. That to me kind of blows away that objection. Sometimes it's a little like, I understand the question is about kind of getting in the door and you have to handle the immediate objection first, but that's a great little script to do it, which is, yeah, we do everything all the other agents do, plus we do 5 other marketing things. Would you mind if I sent you a packet that kind of breaks down our marketing plan a little bit, so you can at least get a sense of that, and then when we meet I can actually go over and explain it in detail. But I have a packet that I can send you that will break down exactly what our 187-point marketing plan looks like. Would that be okay if I sent that over? Well, that's going to be a no-brainer, yes.
Yeah, it's just value add, value add, value add. I mean, the thing is about this, Matt, is I think that it's so simple, right? It's so like, oh, that's it? The people are sitting there going, it can't be this simple. It can't be this easy. I mean, there has to be something else that we can add in there. It's like, no, as long as you bring value and show that you're going to hustle more than the other person, or yeah, basically that. Basically going to be a bigger badass than the other agent. End of story.
Right.
Dude, talk about these shows always fly when it's just the two of us just ripping,
Yes, they're a lot of fun. Hey guys, we appreciate, speaking of that, we appreciate the questions. We really do. So thank you for sending those in, and thank you for friend requesting me on Facebook and sending those questions to me. We love answering the questions live on the show. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun. I love these episodes too. I love it when you and I, Greg, can just riff and help people and address specific issues. I know there's not necessarily a theme that kind of ties the whole thing together always, because we're pulling a lot of questions from different phases of the sales and marketing transaction, but hopefully it helps people. So make sure to subscribe on YouTube and on iTunes and Stitcher, depending on whether you want the video and audio versions, and go check out Greg's marketing examples to learn what Viral does for them. Go download Homing In and start replying to the homeowners that are requesting valuations in your area. Maybe pick up a seller client off of that. And then, Greg, what's the number again for the McDaniel Challenge?
Well, Matt, let's go over what the McDaniel Challenge is. It's an opportunity, guys, to go an hour and a half to 2 hours whenever. It just depends how fucked up you are. If we need to spend extra time on you. Which, actually, I had one of the gals that I did a call with last week. She was just like, Greg, I just got to thank you. You helped me unfuck myself. I'm like, well, I didn't see that one coming. So it's free coaching, guys. It's all caps on that FREE thing. There's no strings attached. There's no I'm not going to sideswipe you all of a sudden and be like, oh, by the way, please subscribe to our newsletter for $9.99 a month. No, it's not happening. And I do it, Monday through Thursday. I'm booked up until the last week in October. So get off your asses and get, hit me up. 925, 915, 1978, 925, 915, 1978. Go to McDanielChallenge.com if you guys are in the shower or don't have a pen.
I have to share this because this will amuse you.
Awesome.
So Jay Salmon, who's been on the show a couple of times, and he's actually guest on our new podcast, Pursuing Results, that's coming out here pretty soon. He shared this little stat. So according to CNN Money, more U.S. families own cats than stocks.
So basically, you're telling me I double down on my retirement.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Forget stocks. Just put that money right into cats. Cats of the future. Herds and herds and herds of cats. Oh man, that's funny. 30% of Americans own cats. That flabbergasts me. And then 14% own stocks. That's just individual stocks, I should say. Oh, all right.
Where does the world
on that discouraging cat ownership note, we will end this one.
Hey guys, no joke. You guys keep coming and keep contacting me. Okay, I really enjoy spending time with you guys. It truly, like, you guys. Every time someone has a question for me, it's like a puzzle I have to put back together and figure out where the different pieces go. I love doing it, guys. It's really a lot of fun, and I love hearing you guys' success stories as you guys are coming back to me and telling me these different awesome success stories. So it validates what Matt and I do here on the show, that we came here to bring value and to give back to you, so you guys can go have the life that you honestly deserve to have and live the life the way you want to live it. So thank you beyond words. Matt and I definitely both love you guys.
Yeah, we absolutely do. As much as Greg makes it look like I'm a horrible antisocial hermit, I really do Also love and appreciate you guys, and I love that you guys watch the show and comment and share it with friends. Like, we don't, if you pay attention, we don't do any advertising for the show at all. So this is entirely organic. It's growing by word of mouth and by people stumbling across us on Facebook and YouTube and all this stuff. And it's from you guys telling friends about the show. So we really appreciate it. We'll be back on Wednesday. We've got a really, really cool guest. Brindley Tucker is a gal that started and then sold a transaction management company, and now she specializes in helping agents train and hire and leverage themselves by hiring assistants and transaction coordinators, transaction managers. And so we're going to talk with her about what really is the right way to go about hiring staff and hiring transaction managers, so that they really do take that stuff off of your plate so that you can focus on growing your business, attracting more clients, and all that good stuff without having to worry about the admin side. So we're going to spend an hour with her on Wednesday. That's going to be an awesome episode. She's like really fun, outgoing person. So this is not going to be like a dry conversation about transaction management and processes and systems, and like it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, where it's just me talking like that put Greg to sleep. So it's not going to be like that. Join us at 3 p.m. on Wednesday. Until then, guys, we're out.
Peace.